Hi, I'm Chris from My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop, and you're watching the video series that we have prepared for you called Quilting Through the Seasons from Kimberville Designs. And in this video, we're going to talk about the bicycle. Don't you love it? It's absolutely adorable. I love how the little baskets are formed by making pockets, and we can actually put the little flowers in back and forth and change them out for all the different seasons. Super cool. So let's take a look at page 26 and get started. The first thing that it tells us is that our background is going to be an 8.5 by 6.5 inch block. I've already prepared the back of it with fusible backing. And then my baskets are 2 by 2 inch squares. Say that a few times fast. And that is what I have right here. Now what I've done is I've already gone ahead and prepared these squares by simply folding them in half together and pressing. So those are ready to go. This is what's going to form my little pockets. And I'm going to be using the block by block quilting method. So let's take a closer look at that. First off, we're going to hoop the stabilizer only, which I have done so, and I'm using the light mesh cutaway stabilizer. And the design I'm going to be pulling up on my screen is KDQ 289 time 4x6 vertical design. Make sure that you are pulling up the correct orientation. There is a horizontal, there's also a vertical. On this one, we want the vertical. And then it tells us that we're going to align both of those and have them centered in the hoop, which is just perfect. I'm ready to go ahead and do that. When I do that, I can go ahead and skip option 2, hooping instructions, because I'm doing block by block quilting. Once again, as a reminder, if you choose not to do block by block quilting, you can eliminate this whole step and move straight on to option number 2. All right, let's go ahead and please join me over at the machine right now. And I can see here that I'm going to be pulling up KDQ 289, the 4x6, and it has the wording going vertical. I'll go ahead and hit set. And before I hit embroidery, I'm going to do one more thing, and that is to add. I'm going to add my design and find that cute little bicycle right up here, KD 815, and hit set. And now I'm ready to embroider. First off, we'll stitch the placement line for my batting. And place my batting over top. Remove the hoop from the machine, and I'm going to trim away the excess batting. Now it's time for the background quilting. You know, that part's my favorite. I'm going to change out my thread color. Don't think I want the writing to be in black. I think that would be a little too much. So I am going to go with a little bit of a lighter taupe on mine. I want to be able to see the lettering a little bit, but not take it too much away from that adorable bicycle either. Now that the background has been stitched out, I'm ready to go ahead and do all of the filled stitches for this bicycle, and let's see it all come together. It's time to now get ready to do the baskets. The first thing that's going to stitch out are the placement lines for where to put my basket fabric. Please follow along with me on page 27, where we have just stitched out the basket placement lines and tick marks. It tells us that we're going to place the 2 basket fabric pieces and center one piece over each placement line with the folded edge aligned with the tick marks at the top of the placement lines. Tape the short edges in place. We'll take it to the machine and stitch the basket's tack down lines, and then we'll trim the fabric close to the stitch line, trimming only along the outside edge of the placement lines as shown in black. Again, great instruction here and great photographs, and it's really going to help us and guide us through the next few steps if we pay close attention. Let's take a look at my hoop and do what the directions have asked us to do. So you see here that we have a placement line and we have these little stitch marks. And what it asks us to do is to take that piece of fabric that we had, and remember how we pressed it in half? We're going to line up that fold against the tick marks there. And then just tape into place. I'll do the same thing on this side. Again, here's my fold right here at the top, and that fold lines up right with the tick marks. Okay, I'm going to go back to the machine and we'll stitch those down. I'm going to remove the tape and with my scissors just trim around the outside edge. And my last step is to simply stitch the satin stitch around the baskets, and then I'm finished. There is one more step that you're going to see on the machine, but again, if you take a look at page 27, it tells us right here in yellow, do not stitch this step. So this line was for design placement only. So after we're done with the satin stitching, this block is complete. Our bicycle block is now complete. It's time to trim it up. On page 27, it tells us that we're going to place the 4.5 by 6.5 orange pop ruler over the block, centering the design horizontally, with the bike 1/2 inch above the inner bottom edge of the ruler. Okay, so I'm going to pop this out of the hoop here. So I'm going to take my 4.5 by 6.5 inch orange pop ruler and just place it right centered here. And it tells us that we want the bicycle wheel to be 1/2 inch from the bottom of the ruler. So I'm going to just double check this with my ruler here. 1/2 inch, yeah, that looks good. So right about there is where I'm going to make sure it's lined up. I'm also going to take a second orange pop ruler just so that I have a little more stability on my hands when I'm cutting, and just place it over top like that. Now, I definitely recommend using a rotating mat when using the orange pop rulers. I think you will have much more success in doing so. With my rotary cutter engaged, I'll just go ahead and place that right in the corner of the extended channel and slide right along there. Just be very careful as you do so, and this will come out together really nice. But slow and steady wins the race on this one. Let's take a look. And there you have it. Our bicycle block is complete. Absolutely adorable, right? So much fun. This was a fun block to make. In our next video, you're going to see how you can do 2 different hoopings in order to create that beautiful vase. Now, for those of you with larger hoops, you'll be fine just to do it in 1 hooping. But in that video, I'm going to show how we can do multiple hoopings, being able to do it with a 5 by 7 hoop. Join me next.